Are you there? I don't know if you're there, so. One second. Are you there? Oh, there you are. Okay. I was going to tell you something interesting. Hold on. When you go to make your character, before you make a character, you can actually look at the preset characters, and all the preset characters are your companions, which are on the screen. So, and they tell you their backstory and stuff like that, so you kind of get an idea of what they're like before you even meet them. So I want to make a custom character, but I wanted to show you their intros.
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted.
A little.
And as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
A little, let me check. Ah. Ambient. About half. Fight music can be about 50 as well. Max turned up. Let me make sure. Did it not save it, or did it? Oh wait. UI. Ah, UI sounds fine. Okay, this is as loud it'll get, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, so
Famed, of course, for my unique red skin and unparalleled skills as a general of the House of War, I, the Red Prince, was raised within the vast palaces of the fabled Forbidden City. I was destined to become the next emperor. But my ambitions suffered a bit of a setback when I fell from grace for cavorting with demons. Now, I'm exiled and hunted by assassins. But I assure you, I remain undaunted and as determined as ever to claim my rightful throne.
I used to be a slave. Kept under the thumb of the master. The bastard that made me hunt down my own kin. How did he do that, you ask? With the living scar you see on my cheek, this horror that takes no more than a song sung by Master Dearest to control my very thoughts. But now the tables have turned. I broke my shackles. And when I finally find him, I will make the Master sing a very different kind of song.
Once I was a crusader for the Divine Order. I pledged my life to Lucian the Divine. The war changed everything. He sent me to save the elves I grew up amongst. I arrived too late. Lucian ordered the use of death fog against the Black Ring, annihilating everyone I once knew in the process. Now I'm a mercenary killer, one of the infamous Lone Wolves. And my next target is none other than Lucian's own son.
I was just thinking about someone I used to know. My cousin, the Queen, in fact. A tyrant. I tried to stop her, but things don't always go according to plan. She cast me out to a forgotten island, and made short work of my allies, too. Lucky for me, I was able to commandeer a ship, and began a new life for myself, out on the high seas. Aye, but I hear that the Queen is at it again, and there's something darker behind her madcap schemes this time. If I don't stop her, I don't know who will.
All my life, I've been a performer, a musician, beloved and celebrated by all. But I have a secret. I'm also a playground for sprites and spirits and... worse. The voice that rings inside me now is darker than any that came before. Almost caused a bunch of my fans to rip each other to pieces. But you can trust me. I've got this under control. Step 1. Find out who, or what, is trying to take control of my mind. Step 2. Make it sorry it ever tried.
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world, trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
Meet your maker.
Almost got me that time.
Almost got me that time. Try again. Glory is mine.
Meet your maker.
Stuff like mosquito swarm. Okay, restores value equal to damage set bleeding for 2 turns. So what it does is I can use that to bleed, and then I got restoration, and then I got bloodsucker. Like if there's blood laying on the ground, I can actually suck up the blood for health and stuff like that. So I could be all health. It's weird how a cleric is like this. Like they got healing items, but they also got necromancy too. It's really weird. Bartering. No, maybe persuasion. There you go. Kinda, yeah. Restoration, bloodsucker, and mosquito swarm. Yeah, okay. Intelligent const, that's good. Okay, that's where you get the... So yeah, that's for healing. That's healing and rain. That's air. That's earth. Fire. Of course, scoundrel, stealth. Huntsman, warfare. Mostly warriors. Archers. Stealth characters. Fire. Water. Like I said. Air. Earth. Necromancy. Summoning and... polymorph. Oh yeah, I forgot how polymorph works. I think you can turn into animals, I think. Yeah, I'll focus on weapons later. Okay, civil abilities, skills. You know, I'm trying to think if I want to... I mean, I want to do some other physical attacks too, though. But oh no, wait! I'll just upgrade warfare. I'll just level up. I'll just tell out. I don't know if I want to start out with not to start out with this class. It seems to it'll work out okay, I think. Skills. Okay. Okay. Talents. When so you got an extra 10 critical accuracy. Okay, let me turn that off. Tag. I'm a human bot. Okay. Wait, how many can I have? One. Okay. All skilled up. Cars. Okay. Increase your recovery and. Including positive. Okay. Certain statuses caused by you are no longer blocked by Stench. Okay, living armor adds 30% of all healing you receive by skills or consumables to your magic armor. Wait, living armor adds 30% of all healing. That might work, living armor. Glass cannon. I don't know. Let's see. Once per combat, if an enemy will come back. If you die and resurrected in combat, come back. I don't know if I like that one or living armor. Living armor adds 35% of all healing you receive by skills or consume. That will already help me with my healing and draining that I do, so that would definitely help me. Alright, male, human, barbarian, jester, mystic, noble. This kind of helps me with dialogue, like, let's see. A jester, be a wise guy, and scholar. Maybe a scholar. I don't know. I mean, I know I'm a cleric, but that doesn't define your character. I'm just because right now I'm just starting out with this stuff, but I can immediately change my class. Like, you're not restricted by a class. Like all the talents and stuff, or all the not presets. The where is it? Like all my skills and stuff. Like. All this, I can eventually learn all these if I wanted to. So I'm not restricted by a class. So mystic, scholar, someone that could be smart and a smartass, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Be smart, but also a smart ass too, or I want to keep jester because I want to kind of be a bit of a smart ass, but I'm trying to think what other backgrounds, because this helps with the dialogue depending on what my background is. I can have two, so jester and scholar, outlaw, noble, mystic, barbarian. So what do you think? Maybe you can help flavor it. I want to keep jester, so whatever the other one is. Mystic is I think that would help you understanding magic and stuff like that. You know, understanding the mysteries of magic. While a scholar's more book smart, and then a noble is obviously a rich person, an outlaw, a soldier, and a barbarian. I mean, those are kind of self-explanatory. But mystic is like understanding the mysteries of magic and stuff like that. You know, mysticism. So what do you want me to choose? Okay. I'm trying to think what I want to choose. A jester, a soldier, a scholar, outlaw. Maybe an outlaw, like a smart. That's kind of more of a rogue type character, not a. I don't want to be a barbarian, a noble. Mystic. Be funny, but serious? Soldier? Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Cello. Sandor. Alright, made up a name. It was, okay, nope. I was playing different RPGs. Let's see. I know. Let's see. So, check this out. I got one. So, I don't know if you can read it. That worked. Yes. There we go.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
So, It wasn't a dream after all. Oh, I don't even remember them strapping me down. When animals die, freight or food.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin. Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
Wait, was my mic on? I don't know if you heard me. Oh, when I was inspecting the haystack, he says, "Are you looking for a needle?" Get it? Looking for a needle in a haystack.
Empty.
Ew, what did I pick? Okay.
No known associates. In fact, he seems
Why,
quite
you're looking a bit
averse
more
to spending
chipper.
time with the
Yes. Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Don't you dare! If you violate the virtue of my carpet, I'll do a good thing worse and put a collar around your neck.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to sauce. For good. Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those sauce spells of yours? See what happens.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will, but no result. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It neuters you of sorts. Makes you unable to cast sauce. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Good gods. There's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. Aren't you enterprising? I'll let Waters tell you no herself. Go ahead. She with the body.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this. Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of...
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous. Yes, this is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Come on, please, Losa.
That's enough now. Ah, there you are. Husband. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly, deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Why won't you sing?
Well, well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if...
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
My, we are fierce, aren't we? Not to worry. I'll soon remedy that. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook? Ah, music to my beleaguered stomach. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after. The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. Well, that just about settles it. I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of this honor to sink in. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy. Now, shoo!
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle. Finally, he pinches your skin, gently tugging at it.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
I am reading. Is this not evident? My book is in my hands, my face turned away from you. Perhaps my eyes not on the page. Damnable things.
He grabs a metal plate and watches his reflection with one eye as the other shifts left to right and up to down. He repeats the maneuver with the opposite eye.
No, they are working quite adequately. It seems you are at fault. Predictable, really. Oh? Oh, I see. I crossed a cultural taboo. How difficult. You have my apologies, human. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Understanding is all rather relative. Take this book, for example. I understand all of it, and yet none of it makes sense. It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Can we just...
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
Anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Is that right? I have a few questions for you.
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
That way. I always knew you'd turn up thoughts and then nest. Your kind always hung closest to our line.
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the Joy. Close to what lies beyond it, too.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy. If you'll be pardoning me, I'll be much obliged.
Classify this slop as food. I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Do you know Losa? She's a really good singer. I'm better though. Listen. La 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 la.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers. As everyone lay sleeping, you lay awake thinking of someone back home. A very special someone. You were reminiscing about the things you used to do together.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Surely.
If I'm not mistaken, in this universe, elves are cannibals, if I'm not mistaken. They're not afraid to... Well, not cannibals, but they're not afraid to eat humans and stuff like that. I don't remember the lore that well.
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mezd. Your kind always hung closest to
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this tramp Ifan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity.
I
was
think
his
so, I would
commander
have to remember.
Many moons ago. Isn't that right?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants. Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the Joy. Away from interested parties. No. The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough. The Joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the Ringmaster himself. Easy now. I might think the same, but Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
What are you conspiring about over there? You! What's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us will.
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
enough for me to listen.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vic.
That right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mezd. Your kind always hung closest to our divine.
I was trying to see if I can look at some kind of...
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
Soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side of this ship with it.
It was one of them. I know it. Would you put a knuckle in it?
I was trying to look for if there's like a codex to figure out the history of like races and stuff like that. Of course, you could read it when I created my character, though.
Keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
He tugs the collar of his uniform and chuckles.
Sorry you're upset, sir, but we all wear what we wear for a reason. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Classify this
Those bolts trained on her. And if she tries to run, shoot to kill.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
No, I didn't want to pick up the plate. Pick up the food. That's not going to work.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards. before this thing snaps into splinters.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kindly use the little you were given. Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? Trifling matters like water and poison do not concern me. No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the seafloor, I will simply walk to shore. Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over. I believe you did, although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
The skeleton holds up his book in one quick, frustrated movement.
I am trying to discover if there is anyone worth saving. And I will be damned if I let the lives of some mayflies get in my way. Go on, go, swim or drown or do whatever takes your fancy. I have a book to read.
Okay.
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick! Great gods! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You don't recognize the symbol, but it's clearly warning you away. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Death! I need to get out of here now! Oh my gods, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I need to get off the ship. Oh, God, I
I didn't want to heal him. While I'm out of combat, I just gotta wait for the thing to regenerate. Heal myself. I don't know. Nope. Oh, I should have used it on that. Dang it. I'm dumb. But oh wait. Oh, that's right. I'm wearing magic armor. I forgot about that.
A lifeboat. That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children are dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time to get the hell out of here.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us here.
The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding from a dire-looking wound. The Magister lies on the floor. The Magister lies on the floor. The Magister lies on...
Okay, She won't wake up?
The Magister lies on the floor.
Hmm? Ew, why did I take that? Oh well.
Voidwoken!
These beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
Let the games begin.
They who are about to triumph salute you.
I've faced worse.
No telling where there might be more. We need to move.
Let's not tarry. This old tub is about to burst.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan, the one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand flailing. It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
It's ripping the ship apart! This is it!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems someone, something, wanted me alive. I thought the Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? I guess. Well, the people who put me here are human, and the people who took my parents away are human too. Or do you mean because I'm a... Are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy. It's better here than inside. But you didn't die. There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see. Guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Oh yeah, that's my stealth.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn. They've made it to shore.
I know
Ooh. Don't kill me. Oh. Yes, I understand, yes. No! Where's my abilities? Where's my abilities? No, I don't want to forget spell. Dang it. And I'm dead, of course. Okay, let me see what happened. Let's see. I don't know what happened to my spells. What happened to them all? I was using them on the ship. Why can I not use them now? That's what throws me off. Did I press the wrong button or something and screwed up or something? Oh, that's right. I did attack instead of use my spell. Yeah, okay, that's what I did. I accidentally hit attack instead of... Okay.
I know you.
Ow.
These bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay. Drowned and eaten by a void-woken. I wonder in which order.
Ah, nope.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red color. Could he be... Yes, you recognize him from the ship. It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
Yes, I imagine you do. You're made of sterner stuff than I first gave you credit for. Chances are I wouldn't have survived the shipwreck. Had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hold? You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we? Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it. You may as well have your freedom. Now then, if there's nothing further... I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Memories. Quite so.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities, and shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? Well, more's the damn pity, isn't it? For I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have. Truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship, after all. Fine. I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of the mystics of my kind. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company. You do tend to beat around the bush, don't you? Oh well, that wishy-washy answer will have to do then. So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out, it goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Do not take my elegance as a mask for frailty. My blows shatter shields, and my thrusts pierce armor. If a warrior you need, the warrior you'll have. I offered the perfection of the blade, and you seek the perfection of the blade. How fortuitous. Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be traveling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, My Lord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
A black cat. Hello, kitty.
Where? Oh.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused. The cat's eyes are... It appears...
Answer him. Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa. We have proof.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come!
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you, Atusa. To think you would lie to his only son, your bishop, and your friend these many years. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. If you will not help us save it, then you will help the Void destroy it. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
Listen. The Lizard Magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Vara. She ain't. Did you see them, sir? Bishop Alexander and the Hammer herself. They were so close, almost within arm's reach. A traitor cannot be murdered. A traitor can only receive their due. The Divine Order's all that stands between everything you see and a Void Woken's throat. Any traitor to them is a traitor to us all. Believe it or don't. The Divine Order doesn't need our loyalty. They'll save us in spite of ourselves.
Not.
This is not your business, Longpig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms. You recognize him. It's Ifan, who you met aboard the ship on the way here.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is no business of yours.
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment, before shuffling back to the protection of his crony.
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you.
Hello? You gonna pray all day, buddy?
You two ought to be thanking your lucky gods it's us, and not the Magisters enforcing round here. A fool never knows what they've got till it's well and gone. Now come on, elf. If you make me say it again, there's gonna be trouble.
And neither will I.
We got a system, and it looks like you don't want to fit in.
Not now. Is that indigestion, or is it... Oh god, not now.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
Hello? You gonna pray all day, buddy?
Follow me, before more of them trouble us.
I've an errand to run around here first. I'll catch up with you there later.
Remember, past the kitchens, down to the beach, inside the caves there. There is a safe place.
You're burning, sir.
Oh.
I forgot, how do I switch character? Oh, that's right.
Ifan rolls his sleeves back down and casually wipes some blood from his cheek. He nods at you, the shadow of a smile on his lips.
Good work there. Good work. I can tell you've got chops. Say, you were on the ship here with me, weren't you?
He stretches out one rough hand to shake yours. He grips your hand tight as a vice and shakes it, hard.
Say, you don't look all that busy now that we're safely on dry land. I could use someone to watch my back. And it looks like you could use someone to watch yours. I've just got a small errand to run. And then I'll be looking to get the hell out of here, while I've still got a neck to collar. How about we stick together until we get out of this place?
He shrugs, looking off to the side.
Mercenaries. It's a job. My job. The usual way. Haphazard, terrifying, and drenched in blood. Haven't quite worked out the details yet, but I'll wager it'll be no worse than what'll happen if we stay put. 2 heads are better than 1, and when push comes to shove, 4 fists are better than 2, right?
He grins, sharp teeth glittering in the midday sun.
So, before we hit the road, it's best if we decide battle strategies up front. Should keep more of our blood in. Survival's my main priority. I'll use every trick in the book to keep us alive. But if a wayfarer's not what you're after, I've got other skills. What do you need? Can do. Onwards.
He scans the horizon for threats with one green eye, then nods back at you.
Right you are. Lead the way.
Indigestion, or is it... Oh god, not now.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman is manipulating a glove-like contraption fitted with 5 long metal skewers. She doesn't look up as you approach.
And what you after? I ain't. Just seeing how it's made. She's clever, Dallas. Made these herself, for those bodyguards of hers. Boy, they're sharp.
She looks up.
You looking to buy something? Found it in the scrap heap not so long ago. We used to know each other back in the day, you know. Dallas and I. Never knew her to be much of a wrench head back in the day, but once she joined the Order, she started turning out all manner of oddities.
She nods once.
You looking to buy something? Or do you just want to waste my time with a whole lot of questions? For you? Hell no. That's for me to know, and you to get out of my face. All manner of things. Have a look.
The woman looks up as you approach. Why?
What do you need? Huh, the hammer got you curious. Oh, I dunno. She was a sweet soul. Quiet. Loved her family. Always seemed strong as I recall, but she didn't come across as no fearless military leader back then. She was just a girl. People do change, don't they?
She nods.
Clever lass, her. No wonder what Alexander sees in her. Question is, what she sees in him. By all means, get an eyeful. By all means, get an eyeful. Where's the oil?
I don't feel so good.
I don't know if it was this or not. Was it?
I know you.
Losa, the dark-eyed jokester you met aboard the ship, waves enthusiastically and dips into a mock elegant curtsy.
Back then I was Madame Josephine Gribbles de Pube. And you were you. Glad to see you made it. Nothing like a nice tentacle slap across the moor to set the tone for the week, eh? How'd you escape? Me too. Did you hear something? When you were in the water, I mean. I heard the same thing. Do you know what this means? It means I'm not the only...
Losa's voice catches in her throat. The joy drains from her face. Her eyes lose focus, and her whole body goes rigid. She is stock-still, waxy-skinned, her eyes dark. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks. Her head snaps to you mechanically, and her eyes lock with yours, dark pupils dilated into great black voids. Light suddenly flashes back into her face. The grey veins drain to pinkish flesh, and her whole body relaxes.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Ah, it's nothing really. It's just... I'm just a bit... well, a bit... hospitable? Put it like this. You've never been a host, I bet. That's because you're an infested clump of leaves on the side of the road. That ain't bad, though. I'd give just about anything to be like you. But I'm a roadside inn. Red door, flowers out front, friendly lady at the door beckoning you in for half price. Like a goddamn gold star inn for the disembodied. Now, isn't that just the question of the hour? I can't be sure just yet. I'll be surprised if it's a demon. Definitely not a sprite either. Maybe a spectre, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So, how are you enjoying the joy? Yeah? I was just thinking the same sort of thing. So, you want to check this place out together? Strength in numbers and all that. It does, right? Before we head out, I've got more than a few tricks up my sleeve, so you'll have to pick which one I'll pull out if... when push comes to shove. Lately I've been into the enchanting arts, but I can shoot, slash, summon, steal, whatever your little black heart desires. So, what'll it be? Don't know if you could tell, but mysticism's kinda my speciality. Let's get into the nitty-gritty while we're at it. What sort of magic are you interested in? Sounds fine. So, we're good to go? Yeah? Well, that was easier than I thought. And I'll do my best to stay myself. Lead the way.
You there. You've just arrived, isn't that right? Are you quite alone?
The man scowls at you.
I thought I might see if you wanted to get out of this place. Though maybe I ought to ask someone who isn't a prissy fop. I have a plan. A good one. But I need a partner. I've been here a long time. Longer than anyone else. People get taken sometimes. Some folks say they get cured. I don't know if I believe it, and I don't want to wait and find out. I have a way out of here. It won't be easy, and I need a partner. Just one. Are you interested? Attaboy. Who wouldn't? Finally someone with a little sense around here. The plan's simple. Completely foolproof. I have a spell that I can use to teleport you right out of here. I can't use it on myself, but with your help, we can both get out of here. There's an artifact that you can use to teleport me out of this place. Then I can use my spell to free you in turn. This item, though, it's in quite an unfortunate location. And how many would make it before the guards noticed? 4? 5? Every bloody sorcerer in this place? Nah, they'd have to take their own chances. I'll need one accomplice, no more. It's found its way into a nest of crocodilians on a secluded beach nearby. Here, give me a map and I'll show you where to go. Not enough to trouble a fine specimen such as yourself. Get that artifact, and you and I are as good as free. Go give those lizards... Pardon, what for?
When another divine arises, will source change back? What if there are no sorcerers left? Yet so quickly, we find source so dangerous. What in his death...
The lizard's brow knits together, then apart, and back again. He seems to be swimming deep in his thoughts, and doesn't look up as you approach.
The ground. I don't know what you... I'm just trying to work it out. What happened? Why? My mind? What else, my friend? I'm wondering why. All of this. Source, the Voidwoken, the Divine. Why? We've used Source for thousands of years. We have used it to heal, to grow. How can it be that it suddenly summons these horrors from the void? And when will Alexander ascend to divinity? We cannot continue like this.
1,000 bottles of dust. 50 bottles of tears, oh. Ho ho! Ain't come to shake me down for my knickers, have you? They're all I got left after your buddies were through with me. That's so. Huh. You look just like them. But then again, I never was the best at telling your kind apart. No harm intended, of course.
Out your mouth, Elbow.
Easy now, old chap. It isn't my fault she's dead. Gods, please, excuse us.
You're talking to me, not him, Sam.
Oh, for the love of Lucian, Balladeer. You're acting like a madman.
Say it again. What you said about my wife. Go on. Piss off. Go on, Sam.
Well, it's the truth, and you know it. She's better off. So what if it was messy? I'd rather puke myself to death 1,000 times than let the Reds get to me. If she were my wife, I'd be happy for her.
A flat smile twitches across Balladeer's lips.
She never did like you.
The man looks for a moment at the corpse at his feet, then turns back toward the nearly finished coffin, bloodied hammer in hand.
Murder's a big word. And no, this here's a bed for someone 1,000 times better than that snake. Rest her soul. The love of my life. Gret. She passed in the night. Something in the stomach. Doctor couldn't help her.
He tenderly runs a hand along the coffin's side panel.
If she were here, she'd tell me this plank is crooked. Chastise me for using warped wood on her final bed. Then she'd laugh and kiss me. Just here.
The man holds a hand to his cheek for a moment. He turns from you, lines up another nail, and hammers it into the panel.
Bastards of dust.
Tides in, and out, and in again. Here you are. I wonder what keeps you. Tell me your tale. We are unfamiliar, yet familiar. We are the same material, you agree? I am very curious. So tell me your tale. Start from the beginning. Start from where you come. I see. Now tell me more. Tell me what you do. Tell me what you find. I understand. Now tell me how your story ends. Ah, you want reunion. Life is lonesome. Yes, life is lonesome. The thing you love is gone. I have something for you, my friend. A gift. We can see the things we lose, not with our eyes, but with our hearts. This ruby does the trick. It is nothing. Many fragments swirl on my shore. See what I gather. Tides in and out and in again. Tides in and out and in again.
The old dog whimpers sadly, sniffing your hand.
Out my face, or I'll punch your lights out.
He smacks your hand away, refusing the potion.
You're trying to kill me, ain't you? Get! Those bleeding fools think they run the place, but I showed them. Sure, first, always win. It's your ugly mug.
Frightfully busy at the moment, love. Haven't got any liquor on hand, have you? This fella could use a little comfort. All the worse for old Dane. He crossed one of Griff's card sharks and got a club to the skull. Doomed to be sure, but I would have liked to ease his way out.
Is that thing eating corpses?
The creature heaves through lips gummed with human gore. It turns to you with great effort, pain apparent in every movement, and madness screams from its wide, bloodshot eyes.
You. Quite lost. Careful, or they'll cross your wires. Now, a little query. Where grows the yarrow? Quickly now, for I haven't much time. Now, or didn't you hear me? Where grows the yarrow? Dire, and for you too, if you want to keep your top screwed on and your wires in a row. Do you hear me? Ugh! Where does the yarrow grow? Where?
Yes. Oops, I should take him out of the poison. Why did I do that? That was stupid. trying to look at your health. What is your health at?
Healer!
The dead man, creature, thing, lies in a heap on the beach.
Whatever it was too dangerous to be allowed to live.
Once that was a person. A sorcerer, perhaps. Now it's monstrous. What is the Order doing to people here?
His obsession with Yarrow suggests he wasn't entirely mad. Perhaps something of his old personality remained.
Oh, right.
little reprieve from the din outside.
Wait! I call a timeout!
I feel him, but I do not see him. Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
She bows.
I hear of no escapes. The only way out is through. Through the Magisters, through their cure. Thugs, I can stand, but I fear the Magisters. In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. She knows more than we know. In the camp, the brute Griff rules. He who gives the bread has the power. It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. We are making beautiful magic. We are healing a tree cut down with great violence. The Magisters come. My family runs, but I fall. My son looks back. I shout to him to run. I am taken. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. I save it for a special occasion, but thank you.
I magicked you! You're dead! Got you! I got you! I magicked you! You're dead! You're cheating! You're cheating!
No one tells me there are so many children in this Fort Joy. Your kind I handle, but small ones. Children everywhere and an idiot for good measure. The divine truly dies.
Oops. As you approach the young elf, Losa suddenly grabs your arm. Her hand is damp. Her face looks pale and grey.
Hey, listen, I don't know why, but I think I need to talk to this elf. You mind?
She darts over to the elf without responding. They begin talking in earnest, more quietly than you can overhear. Losa suddenly snatches up both the elf's hands and leans close to her. Her voice rises.
You have to tell me.
The whites of Losa's eyes fade to grey, then black. The colour runs into her veins, crisscrossing her skin like lightning. She keeps hold of Sahela's hands.
It rises in you even now, Losa. Do not let it. You must be strong. Be strong. Fight. Fight. You are okay. You are yours. No one else's.
Shut up. Let go. Let go. Let go. I don't want to hurt her. Don't make me.
Losa is rigid as a board, tense with the effort of holding Sahela's hands in tight, painful bunches.
Leave me alone. Leave me. I don't want to.
You are hurting me.
Losa's eyes are black. Sahela's fingers are white under her grasp.
Let me go. Please.
A sinister smile spreads across Losa's lips. She jerks the elf toward her.
Chatty, chatty elf.
chatty elf with all the answers. I wonder what your blood tastes like.
Losa, please. You must not defend her. She wakes if she is weakened. We must hurt her to protect her, you see?
I bet the elf blood tastes like... Let's find out.
You must weaken her to help her. I am sorry, Losa. It is almost enough. A few more hits. She comes back to us when she is weaker.
You okay?
Yeah, thanks. What? Don't look at me like that. Good. I don't. Let's keep moving. I want to get out of this bloody place as soon as possible. I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine. Let's go.
I'd say we're making good progress already now. I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when the going's tough. Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure...
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out. So, time to find this Boris fellow. Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean? Maybe.
He sniffs the wind, gazing out across the dilapidated buildings of Fort Joy, as if looking for something.
But maybe it's going to work out. I've got a contract, a man on the inside, and now you. Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have.
You are in the wrong place, Pinky. Military, are you? Be at ease here, and well met. Let me know if you need any armaments. I offer them to a fellow serviceman at a few coins discount.
The young girl's eyes are covered, but she turns towards you when you approach. She smiles as though she recognizes you, though she couldn't have seen your face.
Ah, hello. I see you come a long way. I see you come here seeking a great adventure. Do you find it? Perhaps you keep going. Perhaps you make friends with what you see. There is a great passion in every grain of sand. Maybe you find your adventure after all.
She laughs and looks around as though taking in the scenery, though her eyes are still covered.
Many people to meet, many stones to turn, and there is a great joy here, as though the walls and water themselves were made by many smiling gods. Even if we are here under unhappy circumstances, still I feel it. I see it before my eyes. It is not so bad. I know which days have bread and which days have none. I know more bread comes someday. It helps. Your life is not your own. Your life is for us all. I cannot say more. You see someday.
Her eyebrows shoot up.
There can be a way. Amiro knows. But he is gone. Do you see him? He knows how to leave. My protector, my friend, an elf like me, with a spirit bright as new leaves. He tries to help me, to save me, and he suffers very much. He is caught by those who hurt him. I wish so much for his return. And he tells you what you seek. A way out. You bring me great peace. I see something that helps. I see a lizard. He is a lizard of many dreams, of far feeling. You do not free Amiro without him. Yes, please ask. Oh, I do not cover my eyes. I cover the place they used to be. They are gone now, taken. But I see all the same. He is a very blind man. He sees things but not truth, not love or joy. I feel very sorry for him. You understand when you meet him, after you escape. It is safer here. We make no trouble for Griff. He makes no trouble for us. My home is far. Your language gives me some trouble. We elves... Time, for us, is now. There is not then and when. I knew we must be here. I am not sure how much to explain. You are here, and so we are here.
So this is Fort Joy.
The delivery.
What a crumbling disaster. I know that look well enough. You're about to pop, ain't ya? Why don't you enter a match and let some of that frustration out the right way? You'll find out. Down the hatch, then.
Next to fight.
You come to fight. You come to prove yourself. You come to be worthy. There can be only one, and you have but one chance. Good. Who aids you? Choose wisely. Whether you fail or succeed, you do not fight more than once.
What is that? Well, okay. Ah! I didn't want to move, I wanted to attack her. Oh, that's right, she's blind.
I need aid!
What's your help? I can't... Okay, never mind, that purple is your help.
healing.
I don't think it's a battle I can win. Yeah, but I don't want to use all those resurrection scrolls. Well, this is a different save, really? How far back did it not save? If it's saved too far back, I'm quitting. I'm not dealing with it. I'll deal with it some other time. It's getting late. So we'll see. If it's too far back, I'm just gonna say screw it and quit. Maybe, we'll see. Depends how this game screwed me over.
Is that thing eating corpses?
Wow, you saved me all the way back. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Right, I'll play some other time. Bye.